Hi guys, and welcome to another Whisky Geek review. My name is Ben and I'm wishing you all a very Merry Christmas. Not sure when this video is going to go live, have a feeling it's going to be around Christmas Day, so hope you're all having an excellent time, enjoying time with family and friends, having a break and enjoying some fantastic whiskey. So today I'm reviewing a Highland Park. This is the Viking Tribe, another one of their very many Viking themed special releases, limited releases, who knows. I believe this one is an Amazon exclusive, doesn't seem to be limited, seems to be pretty constantly available, but it's another no age statement with a Viking themed name and very little other information on it. I actually quite like Highland Park. I know there's a good many people who've just disengaged from them and avoid bottles like this because it's just too much for them, and I can totally sympathise with that. But I like Highland Park, I like the 12-year-old, so I'm still on board and I'll still give them a try. Worryingly, I did pick up this bottle about the same price I can get a Highland Park 12, about £25, but worryingly the pricing seems to be creeping the wrong way. I've not seen what this is at recently, but the 12-year-old seems to have disappeared off shelves near me, being replaced by a 10-year-old, which is more often than not more expensive than the 12-year-old ever was. So it's a little tough to get behind. This bottle, 46%, no age statement. This is actually a 700ml for the UK, but the bottle itself is a 750ml. The only reason I know that is when it turned up, the fill level was down here. It's like I didn't have a neck pour. So I sent a message to Highland Park to ask, this is the second time that I've had to send emails to Highland Park to ask them what the hell's going on. And they turned around and said, yeah, it's 700ml for the UK, we just don't have a different bottle. This is the same bottle that we use for the rest of the world, which is normally 750ml. So there we go. It was the right amount of liquid, just a larger bottle than it needed to be. Whilst we're on the bottle, I don't particularly like the black glass. The only reason that I knew that the fill level was down here was because I was in front of studio lights, and holding it up against the studio lights I can see where the fill level is. And the reason that I've expedited this review is because likewise I by chance noticed that the fill level is right down here for me. I very almost finished this bottle. And also on the packaging, I really don't like these twisty caps that Edrington have started doing, or have been doing for a while, where they've got this slight quarter turn thread and a plastic cap to match. Whenever I open a whiskey, I like to pop it clear, not twist, particularly when you've got a natural cork like this one. I have only ever had 3 corks fail on me, and they have all been Edrington bottles. They have all had this twisty cap, because every time you open it you put torsion into the cork, into natural cork, and you start to pull the fibres apart. I really don't like it, I really don't get it, but I've heard of quite a few people really seem to enjoy it. There we go, bottle down. So like I said, very little information on what this whiskey is, how they've arrived on it. This bottle turned up without a carton, just like this. And all it says is it's bottled at 46% ABV, marrying strength. Don't know what they mean by that, other than it's been watered down to 46%. Viking Tribe delivers intensely balanced flavours of sweet vanilla, zesty citrus, peppery spices and aromatic smoky peat. So some very generic Scotch tasting notes there as well, hardly worth saying. So everything about this is saying to me that it's not really marketed or intended for a whiskey enthusiast market, but I'm saying that as someone who quite likes Highland Park and has engaged with this bottle. So I'm not sure whether this one is coloured or not. I should have done my research beforehand, but I'll do it and superimpose it on screen. I think because it's Edrington, they're not in the habit of adding E150A, so this hopefully is natural, and I've put it down as a shade 8 Sauternes. So going in to take a look at that nose, straight away you get this kind of warm, fuzzy cereal element. It's not quite on the same level as Macallan or aged Highland Parks, but it reminds me of what I associate with Golden Promise barley. There's this lovely nuttiness to it. I can't quite make out whether it's like roasted hazelnuts or walnuts, but it's this, again, kind of warm, backed up by spice nuttiness. There's a leathery element as well, and ground coffee, ginger, cloves, vanilla. It's not overly sweet, it's more on the kind of rounded ground spice type of flavour profile. As it's getting some air, there's kind of orange coming through, a very light prickle, little bit prickly, and quite a tanniny Hessian sack type of tone in there. The peat is there, but it's super background to me. I mean, I would put this in the realm of like 5 to 10 ppm compared to the peated whiskies that I'm used to. This, I've really got to go looking for it. I do not consider it all that peaty at all. Onto the palate. There's a prickle, a heat straight away. The cereal character has subsided a lot. It's much more on the spice side of things, the ginger and the cloves. There is that orange is carrying through quite nicely. There's a nutty creaminess, but it's not so much in the mouthfeel, it's more in the flavour. And there's a hint of peat, smoky peat. It's gently floral, but again, super background to me. Not prominent flavours at all. I mean, it is in there. It's, for someone who doesn't drink peated whiskies, it's probably much more noticeable. Just for me, calibrated around 45-50 ppm, this is like background peat, super background peat. So somewhat unusually for me, the finish is actually picking up from the palate. I'm enjoying just sitting with the finish and letting it kind of billow out. The cereal tones are being pulled back in. I miss them on the palate from the nose. The cereal elements coming back. There's a nice smoke. Again, super mellow. Not quite background anymore. As it sits, it becomes a little more evident, and it just kind of ebbs and flows along. And there's an oakiness, kind of subtle oakiness. Still, those spices are there. It's not particularly drying, just a touch drying, and medium length. It does linger, but not for a huge length of time. So like I said, I quite like Highland Park expressions. I like them at a price point whiskey when they're not asking stupid money for them. I'll get on board. I've rated this one a 74%. It's got enough boldness, enough interest to egg me on to explore it, but it doesn't quite fulfill that. There's not quite the complexity or the intrigue to really make it warrant sitting with and exploring in great detail. This is much more of a sit and enjoy, socialising whiskey, and it does very well in that context. I really enjoy it, sharing it and enjoying the company more so than focusing on the whiskey. I think I like this one ever so slightly more than the 12-year-old, but for different reasons. So the 12-year-old is more about the friendliness and the subtleties, whereas this one is more bold and punchy, and I'm enjoying the nuttiness and the spice in this one. So it may come down to context or mood, that kind of thing, but for me tonight, I'm enjoying this one, and I'd say I'd rather sit with this one than the 12-year-old. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this little whiskey video. If you have, please do like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic Christmas and a happy new year. Cheers.